Yeah.
This is what she wanted from the beginning.
Yeah.
We changed best we could, but
This color here was good.
yeah, switch.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
You need
Switch
to,
there so you can see.
okay. You need to keep this entire house in neutral colors and taupes, and every color in every room needs to have the same tones and hues in it for resale for sale in St. Louis. Okay. And as I said, I do this for half of the builders, or actually I work with almost every builder in St. Louis in some capacity, whether we're doing spec homes for them or whatever. And I select all the colors for over half of the builders in St. Louis, and I work with most of the rehabbers. I work with the real estate market and helping them when they're trying to get a house updated so that it can sell for a higher profit. You have to stay with neutral colors. Now that doesn't mean you have to be boring and beige, but you do need to not have a specific color. In blues and yellows, I was telling you, those are the two worst colors that you can put in a house. It's a color that's in most homes, but for resale, it is not the color that people want to buy in their new homes. That's the colors they had. They want to come in and be able to put whatever they want. And it's nice to have some drama colors, but those drama colors need to be over here into something like this, or a much darker hue here. And your tiles, in order for your property to look the same, the more repetitive you use a product, the bigger the house will feel, the more flow that the house will have. So using this tile on this floor, which is a very pretty tile, use it up here and here. If you want to have some drama, then take them and cut a little corner piece out and use some kind of a little diamond inset, but do it in a neutral color or a color that's in there like a darker, there's kind of a brownish taupe in there, go with that, where you're picking up the same colors again and you're just repeating them. That gives more drama, it makes the room feel smaller. When you change products like this from one to the other, you are completely throwing off and making this room feel dissonant to people coming in. And you do not want to do that. And this is an individual taste. And if you're doing your own home, that would be great, but not for something that you're trying to sell or to impress people with, because this now requires that you match all of these other things to it. Which if it's your own home, you're going to bring drapes and everything, you can pull it together, but not in a product like this where you're trying to reach mass appeal. Neutral, neutral, neutral. And you can make drama with neutral by coming down a little bit in your colors, but you've got to stay in a color palette that does not, that will appeal to the majority of the people. This is too selective. And in St. Louis, blues and yellows, you will see those more in the Ladue area or Frontenac area. You're not seeing them, or in country, okay, those colors, and this is not a country style home. And again, you do not want to narrow your appeal. If this person wants something like this, if you've got neutral colors and they want to come in, they can do their own painting at that time, if that's who your buyer is. But you're making your buyer pool this big, and you want your buyer pool to reach the majority of the people who walk in here. And that's not what's happening with the selections. Your flooring in your kitchen is in gray tones, your cabinets are in yellow tones, your countertop is in a yellow tone. You have too many patterns going on, because the countertop that you're talking about, it has a pattern to it. Your flooring has a pattern. The grain in your wood has a pattern. So you basically have 3 patterns going on in there. Countertops and flooring should complement the cabinets and allow the wood and the grain of the cabinet to be what's important, and they should support it, and that's not what's happening right now.
I think she would.
Awesome! Holy cow! Now, why don't we make an infomercial and we make a lot of money selling it?
I guess my drama background's paying off.
No, it's good. No, you were awesome. Absolutely phenomenal.
I guess she thought.
Just thinking of the best side. No doubt. So what else can we do besides finishing this house?
Well,
We're about to build a couple of more. You can help me with all the stuff that I do if you want to.
I would be glad to help you
I'll
out
make
as
you
far
part of the
as.
system, so it goes through you before.
I think you've got to.
I need to.
I look at your floor plans, and I can tell you whether the floor plan is going to work or not work. I've been doing this long enough to know what sells and isn't selling in St. Louis, and what builders have been successful with what products and stuff. And I'm also not from here. I've lived here for 30 years, and I'm from an area where things are much more progressive and contemporary, and that is not our marketplace here. We are Midwestern here, and I mean, and to
Do you
say,
see the light fixtures?
Do I what?
Do you see the light fixtures
Yes.
in the kitchen?
Yes. You've got to build for who your client is and what area you're in. And you have to know that. And we're in Troy. And the person who does all of my window treatments lives here in Troy. So I've been coming here for 23 years to this area of town. I've watched the growth in it. I know what people are buying in this area. I have builders in this area. And what sells and what doesn't sell. And, that's not to say I can't ever make a mistake or be wrong about something, but I have a lot of background that says this is a good idea or this isn't a good idea that you can utilize or not utilize. I hate to see someone come in. You've got a really good floor plan here.
It's a cool floor plan. That saves it.
But it's 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
And
You want 3.
And
Well, it
a
wasn't supposed-
2-bedroom house has to be 150.
I know. It was supposed to be 3, but they made a study of the front bedroom.
Right. And again, that's the kind of change that if someone wanted to make and they want to pay for it, that's fine. If their money's on the line, that's fine. But to sell in St. Louis and to command the price that I'm looking at here, you have to have a minimum of 3 bedrooms.
Yep.
So
No doubt.
exactly.
And
And
probably a 4th and a 5th in the basement.
well, yeah, you've got
Yeah,
the
we're gonna
space.
finish. We're gonna
right.
finish the basement too.
You've got the
completely.
space for that, and I don't even know that at this point that I would suggest that you need to go in to do that. You need to sell to your people that we have this space here and we can do that for you. And again, I would suggest putting that money in at the time that you have an interested buyer.
Right.
That's what most builders do. They may have if they have a large subdivision, they have their display and they have their lower level finish because they're selling at that point. But you're going to be here on this property with people, and you're in an area where people have different needs, and they may want that basement for a workshop and not have it completely finished. So I think that you could wait for that, but sell to your people that, hey, I can convert this front room back into a bedroom if that's what you want. I can make your
Exactly.
other bedrooms
That was
on the
the
lower
thought on that,
level. But I think you're going to have to, if you let them come in, people, particularly in this, is the show me state, there's a reason for that.
We just didn't want to have the office in the garage
Right.
with everybody and
Right.
a little more like that. That way, I'll take
Right.
the double doors out and
Right.
wall it in and put a door in. We have the
If
bedroom
that's
back.
what your buyer wants, but
Right.
make sure that that's what you're selling to people, that,
Right.
this, if you don't need this study here, we can turn this into a bedroom for you. Or if you want your other bedrooms in the lower level. Now, you have a walkout here,
No.
then you can't have bedrooms.
Right.
You have to have an egress down there.
Yep.
So it is a 2-bedroom house unless you convert that to a 3-bedroom.
Right.
Okay. And that's not to say there's not anyone who's going to do that. Troy is kind of like Kirkwood. People do things a little differently out here, and their values are placed a little differently. They like their land. They like, being more out and things like that. And price point is also very much a consideration out here too.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a good floor plan.
Yep.
It's a very good floor plan, and I don't always say that because your spaces are very functional, and then you have some wild spaces in here. I like the fact that you've raised your windows up here, which makes the rooms feel larger instead of taking them down like we normally do in St. Louis. So, and it also gives you a little bit more wall space for furniture and things like that. So I think you've done a lot of really good things here. I think your colors are going to hurt you. So.
Cool. Good.
And of course I'm dressed such that you can tell that I'm an expert on color.
Hey, it's just like my hair. Don't worry about it.
That too. Of course, either a yellow, a pinky cast, or a gray cast. So every color has that. All right, and that when you see paint decks, what you'll see is that they're usually lined up so that you're going in the same hues, And you can tell that if it's yellows, and it goes all the way down, it'll start up with a light yellow. And even though the color down at the bottom looks totally different, it still has a yellow value or you know, a green value or whatever. So we have the basic paint wheel, everything goes one way or the other. So, and that is definitely goes towards the yellow.
And in here also, she's got green countertops. But she wants, I think it'll look like personal. She wants to put kind of this with the green countertops.
Paint?
Yeah, she wants to change the room this color.
Okay, here again, we have one value and we have a totally different value here. These should look almost like mirror images, either up or down on the scale. It should not be, you can contrast, but even when you're contrasting, for people to not have a dissonant feeling, you contrast the opposite end of the scale. We're not doing that here. And no.
Yeah, that's,
No, absolutely. You've either got to pick up a color that's in this wall, which is currently there. This already it stands out from this.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to stop. Okay, we don't need these colors in here. We don't need all of these colors because all it's going to do is hit people in the face every time you change a color. This is what happens.
okay, there's another color in here too for this bathroom. I'm going to get it out here. This is the one she's talking about changing the master bath to. The back one to bring the yellow tiles in, I guess.
No,
No?
no. I'm sorry.
Okay, and then
Pick one color and go through the whole house. Either lighten it or darken it.
and then this is what she wants to paint the bathroom in there.
No. it will look like a paint store. You know, you have people coming in and they change cabinets in every room. They might as well be a cabinet store. That's what they're doing. People don't want all those changes. They need for things to repeat themselves.
So basically, if we would have took this color throughout the house, or something like this color, darken it a little bit, you know.
Okay.
Then
This color, what's happening right now, it needs to be a lot darker than this, okay? So that it contrasts more with your woodwork. You have woodwork and you want that to be a feature that shows up. So yes, you want to have something a little more. The tans that you have in these two bathrooms, they have a lot of pink value in them, okay? Which in that flooring in there, it kind of goes through that taupey pink, and that's fine. But you need to find that one color that's going to go throughout everywhere. And it needs to be darker than this, but it shouldn't be dark. You can do
okay,
a
so
bathroom
is there
darker.
anything like, not really,
This is
but
the,
like that one?
well, and here's the concern about this,
Got
because this
green.
has got a yellow-green background, which really is going to clash with this floor. So
Yeah.
I don't really see
Yeah, there's
anything
really
on here right now. You're going to have to pull out, there is a little bit of a brownie taupe in here, and you're going to have to find that color that looks the best with this and with that tile.
Okay.
You don't have a paint deck here?
Not a whole deck, we just have like little swatches here and
Let me look at that, and at this point, we're going to have to pick the best that's going to work.
Yeah, the closest. Okay.
We did the color layout for Bear paint. When you go in, we did the shooting for them. You see what I'm saying? You're going in pink tones here, you're in gray tones, you're in yellow tones, and most of these, you're back to a gray, green.
So on the deck too, would you suggest more of staining it more of a color that would match this too? Or what would
Well,
you?
usually on that, we're looking at the siding and your brick colors.
Okay, because she chose like this.
This color right here is going to be the best color
For floor?
for
No,
the
for
walls.
the walls.
Okay, for the walls.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to look hard with the thing, with the white.
Yeah.
And it's really gonna pick up on your, at this point, we need the two main areas, and that's the bathroom flooring and this in here. So that's going to kind of be.
What can we do with this
middle of
tile
the-
though? The tile is, I mean, besides
This'll
ripping it
help.
out of course,
This'll
but I
help.
mean,
Is it too late to change your countertop?
No.
Yes, they're coming Friday, they're being cut
They're
right now.
solid. Okay. You know, at that
Feel
point,
like too late for the countertops. What color should the countertops be?
Here,
well, if,
you hold it.
the
I'm
color of
gonna
the
go get this.
countertop depends on what colors that we're working with the countertop that you have. You know, it's too late to change the floor or the countertop, so we need to get something neutral in here where these two can stand by themselves. And then the design that we do in here is going to have to pull it together and to minimize the differences.
So crap, I wish we could have the mocha countertops
This
now
one
then.
throughout the whole house, even the bathrooms, or would you say leave the bathrooms the same, or?
You know what, this is a great color period. If you
Yeah.
want to go down to something, but you've got all these different tiles and things, I would keep it simple.
All the same then?
Keep it all the same.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It, you know, sometimes what we would like to do is make this a fireplace an accent wall, and we could come down with something maybe like this or like this. But since we have so many different colors
Yeah, it's
going
just
on,
not gonna look right.
we can't do it.
Yeah.
We can't do it.
What, let's talk about fireplace a minute. What would you do with the hearth and around that fireplace?
Well, we can use the same tile that's here, or we can use a marble that, you know, there's a lot of neutral marbles. If you look at what most builders offer, they're very neutral, and the reason for that is because they go with the most things. And there's a color that's called Prima Marfell, which is kind of a beige, doesn't work too well now in here. There's a black slate, which I think would look great around this because of the gray floors here, and because it does pull out some of the black that's in the countertop. There's either of those would probably look very nice. And I'm going to go out here and look at your outside.
I got the countertop.
Actually, that looks fairly nice. This one here, this is a solid color, so you probably don't want to use that. This is going a little green. Let me just kind of see what our choices are here.
That one, I was gonna say that one there would be.
It's pretty, but I see a lot of pink going on
Yeah.
in there. This is fairly close to what she selected here. It's called taupe.
Mm-hmm.
This is called fawn. Oh. This is a semi right there.
The semi?
Yes, right there.
Okay.
I love it.
Just summer.
Yes. Chatham fog.
Cool.
And the semi.
Okay, I'll circle that one.
Yeah, I think that looks great.
And then she picked a red for the front door too.
No.
No red front door?
Number one painted front door.
I like you. You say no.
Oh.
I like that. No, I mean I love it. Am I wrong,
There are
Barbara?
other people want to hit me.
I always look for that no. Not like, oh, well, it's okay. It could be, nah, I'm fine. I'm good. It's like, dude, no.
The number one painted front door color and shutter color is black in the country.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Let me look a little more. At the You have black fixtures. Okay. That's good. I'm going to
Yeah.
show you a color.
What? Open the door?
Hopefully you have it.
Here it is, right here.
Okay. That's not the color.
So that's not the color, huh?
No.
No?
How about pink?
Okay, he doesn't get to choose any color. Oh, yeah. This one right here.
The green?
It's a greeny taupe.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. You have a very good eye for color. She has a very, very good eye for color.
Yeah? Yes, she does, actually.
Art. I love art. You would probably be a good person to, if you're making a decision one way or the other, to listen to.
Good.
Good. Awesome. Yeah, I do like that side a lot better.
Okay.
Awesome.
Anything
Cool.
else?
Thank you.
What else?
I think
This is for-
Here's the countertop.
I would
Here's the
take
countertop.
I would take these plants off of here
Yeah.
before they work. Yeah, that's a giallo, isn't it?
That's, I don't know if that's the good or not. I said it was gold. There's more black in it.
No, it's gold. It has gold. It definitely has golds in it. What's the name of this one?
I don't know if she says on here or not. Let's just give me a photo download of it, of what she selected.
Oh, okay.
See, these are slabs. They're more gray streaks like the floor tile. The actual slab is gorgeous.
It may have some grayish streaks in it, but what always shows up is what the dominant color is. You always see the dominant color, and the gray is not a dominant color. So even though it may have some of those, and again, depending on the slab, because it's a natural material, how much of one color versus another color is in it. So, but I wouldn't have selected something with golds in it, that had any golds in it with this floor.
So it should have been the black or the at least the
It needed to
the
have gray
mocha.
tones or pick up some of the brownish tones in here. And grays are very difficult colors to use in any house at this because it goes back to what people consider the old contemporary, and every house was painted gray, and it's also identified as a cold color, and if you have art, you know that, as opposed to warm colors. So you're just really starting to see the grays come back at all in the most sophisticated of displays, and that's not where you want to be when you're doing a house that's to appeal to a lot of people. You want to be where it's safe and comfortable for most people, and grays are just is not a most people color. Beige is a most people color. But you can. That doesn't mean it has to be boring. There are lots of ways to keep it from being boring. But just stay with it.
Yep.
Okay.
Coolness.
Good.